This is the St. John's Podcast with Pastor Mark Stapleton.
Hi, welcome back.
Thank you, Tim. It's good to be back. It's been a little bit too long.
A little bit too long. I feel like we've had a pretty busy spring this year. I don't know why or what the purpose of that was, but it seems like spring was busy. So summer's here. So it's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Anything good going on this summer?
No big vacations.
No. Okay.
Maybe next February take a trip down to St. Martin.
Okay.
Kind of looking forward to that, but no, I'll be around the entire summer here.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, we not too many vacations planned as well, but I am definitely looking forward to summer this year. So what's been going on at St. John's?
Well, we just got through with Easter, obviously.
Yeah.
A few weeks ago was Pentecost, and Pentecost is where we honor the Holy Spirit, and some good things have happened there. And I've been praying to bring people into the church, where you're praying to the Holy Spirit to move people till they come into the church. And it's funny, just 2 days before Pentecost, someone called here at the church, and they said, "Can I talk to Pastor Mark?" And I said, "You were talking to him." Mm-hmm. And she said, "Good, I want to join your church." Now, I don't even know this woman's name.
Right.
And I said, "Well, tell me why." And she said that she's been church shopping, but she does it online. That's how she doesn't go to the church.
Okay.
And she's been watching other churches, and she goes, "I really like yours. Your service is not boring." And I'm thinking, okay,
that's a good thing.
I will take that.
Yeah.
And I said, "But you'd never been here." "No, never walked in." "Well, why don't we meet sometimes?" And so we did a few weeks ago, and we met. We had the nicest talk, and she wants to join our church, go into a new member class, and that's the Holy Spirit. That's
absolutely.
Pentecost. I mean, I did absolutely nothing to bring her in.
Yeah.
Except she watches our, I don't know if she watches our podcast, but she was watching our church services, and we are not boring.
No,
So
no,
I'm going to take that.
No, we're definitely a conservative church.
Yeah, we're more traditional.
Traditional, yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. Traditional, I think that's a very accurate word. Yeah. But no, we're definitely not boring. Definitely not boring. I think one of the things about the sermons that, especially that you give, that always, I guess, brings me back or really gets to me is there's always a good positive message, right? Every sermon that you give, there's a good positive message at the end. You have, we talked about the gospel and the law, right? Mm-hmm. It's, you have half the sermon is this, half the sermon is that, but it always comes back to a really positive message. And I really enjoyed the Pentecost sermon. Was it last weekend, last Sunday?
It was 2 Sundays ago.
Two Sundays ago, yeah. It was a very, very good sermon. I encourage everybody to watch that on the YouTube channel for sure.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate
absolutely. That. And then one of the things, I think we're going to talk about today is children, right? And how faith can really help children emotionally. I think that's a key message that really needs to be heard these days. And why don't we talk about that? What are some of the thoughts you have on how faith can help children?
Well, faith is so nebulous. And especially to a child, it's you can't put your finger on it. And sometimes children have a really strong faith, and sometimes they have no faith at all because they're only 7 years old or something like that. But it helps. Faith doesn't ignore fear, but I think it helps children walk through it. And children have they're all over the place sometimes, and sometimes they have a lack of social discipline because they haven't learned the rules yet. Okay, a 7-year-old is more immature than a 10-year-old, who's more immature than someone in high school. But
sure.
but they don't really understand what they're doing. But do they have a lack of fear sometime? And the answer is yes, they do. I remember there's a mother who was teaching her little 7-year-old boy how to play the piano. He was going through opening lessons, and she decided that she would take him to a Paderewski concert. And Paderewski was a very famous pianist back in the 1900s, early 1900s. So she took him there, went to the great big theater and found their seats, and she sits him down. And then just a few rows right ahead of her was one of her friends. And she says to her little 7-year-old, "Now stay right here, okay? I'll be back in a minute." And back in the 1900s, you could actually leave a 7-year-old there. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, today they would throw you in jail. So she went and talked to her friend, and 5 minutes later, the lights start coming down, and she went back to her seat. Her 7-year-old is gone. No idea where he is. Okay, with this, the curtains open, and there on that stage is the big Steinway Grand, and sitting behind the Steinway Grand is her 7-year-old boy. How he got back there, we don't know. And the curtains open, the lights come on, and the little boy starts playing "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." Okay, Paderewski is off stage. He comes onto the stage, walks right behind the little boy, and he says, "Don't quit, keep playing. Don't quit, keep playing." And with his left hand, he reaches around the little boy and he starts playing the bass part that would match what the little boy was playing. With his right hand, he reaches all the way around and he starts playing a beautiful running obligato. And now there's 4 hands playing this, and the audience loved it, and everyone is cheering for this. But his message was, "Don't quit, keep playing." And for children, they're going to make mistakes, okay? Don't quit, keep playing. But sometimes you need God's help as much as we adults need it. Okay, we should probably listen to that too. Don't quit, keep playing. But we bring God into it, and all of a sudden there's 4 hands. Okay, we need the help of the master, and Paderewski was the master at that time. And with us, God is our master, but sometimes we quit and we don't stop playing. So I think that's important for us.
Absolutely. And, you just talked about, God coming in, now there's 4 hands playing, right? And would you say it's somewhat accurate that it's not God telling us what to do or how to feel, but also helping us deal with it, right? Or helping us understand those emotions and situations and things that we're going through.
Yeah. I mean, you think of that little boy, Twinkle, Twinkle. It's so simple. There's nothing about it, okay? But with God's help on either side, He can turn this into a great musician piece that people really appreciate. But we need God. We need the master in our life.
Absolutely. And then, could you imagine how that parent felt?
Yeah, she was humiliated and proud at the same time. So,
yeah, and that's the thing. I think parents are overwhelmed right now. Just as much as our kids are. And what do you think are some of the ways that faith can help us parents deal with these situations that come up?
Well, again, faith is so nebulous, but sometimes parents are overwhelmed, especially with children in junior high or high school or whatever they are, and sometimes they just feel like they're just treading water.
Yeah.
But how long can you tread water? Okay,
Right.
And after a while, you need some help. And Jesus says, I think it's in Matthew, "Come to me, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest." I'll give you rest, okay? The load on your shoulders is too much. Lay it on my shoulders, okay? And I will give you rest. Because we all have weakness.
Sure.
Okay? And Saint Paul tells us that there was a thorn in his flesh. He had some kind of weakness. No one really knows what it was. Was it physical or was it emotional? But he had this weakness, and he writes that in his weakness, God made him strong. And sometimes we think of a weakness as a weakness, and it isn't. Mm-hmm. Okay, God can take that weakness and he can make it really, really strong. And I think that's really, really important. Okay, because weakness is a big problem. If I would pick up a light bulb and put it up here and then just drop it, that light bulb is going to break.
Right.
Okay, that light bulb is very, very weak. It's okay, but you take that light bulb and you put electricity through it, and now all of a sudden that light bulb is really strong. I can light up the entire house. If my light bulb is big enough, I can light the whole house with that little weak light bulb. And I think that we kind of forget about that sometimes. Okay, in your weakness, God can make your weakness your strength, and that's really important these days.
Yeah, I would agree with that 1,000%. You know, and it makes me think about, you know, you somewhat mentioned, you know, getting a rest, right? And, you know, getting that strength from Jesus. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I can say that I do really feel that way every Sunday that I'm here at the church, right? It's almost like a reset button. That's the only way I can describe it. It's a reset button in the sense that the family's coming here. We're coming here to worship. There's really nothing else to think about, right? We're here for that particular purpose, and it really helps with the feeling of being overwhelmed. And I say there's probably a million reasons for that, but I think that's one of the key benefits of, you know, being here at the church and being in this community, and, you know, you have a place to recharge. Does that make sense?
Sure.
You know?
I'm glad that you said that, because you should recharge the batteries. Okay, for that 1 hour on Sunday, if you really get into it, and you're thinking spiritually and mentally of what God has done for you, that can really help you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, maybe let's talk about isolation. And, you know, I think we've talked about this the past couple of podcasts is the community feel that's here at St. John's. Mm-hmm. And, you know, walk us through, like, what do you think are some of the ways that, you know, having that strong faith can help people deal with isolation?
You know, years ago, it wasn't that big of a deal, but then we went through COVID.
Yeah.
And oh my gracious, you know, I mean, everything is isolated. And that was terrible to society and to churches. Mm-hmm. Every church in the whole United States got hit. Okay, right. There's nothing we could do about it, but it's like you're lost in the wilderness because there's no one there to help you. Okay, you need that outside help. Okay, you can't do it all by yourself. And I was thinking that it's a story that I used a long time ago. There was a man who was driving through the country, and it was farmland, and he tried to swerve to miss something, and he put his car. It went into a ditch. Mm-hmm. Couldn't get out. Okay, he had no cell service, so he walks to the nearest farm, and he asked the farmer that, you know, can you get my car out of the ditch? And the farmer goes, well, I don't have a tractor right now, but I have a horse. He's old and he's blind, but see if I can pull your car out of the ditch. And so the horse's name was Dusty. So the three of them went down to the car, okay, and he hitched up Dusty, and he goes, I don't think Dusty can do this, but, you know, he's old and he's blind, but let's see what he can do. And so he gets them all hitched up, and then the farmer goes, pull, Bob, pull. Pull, Bob, pull. And Dusty didn't do anything. Mm-hmm. Then he goes, pull, Robert, pull. Pull, Robert, pull. Dusty's just standing there doing nothing. And finally the farmer goes, pull, Dusty, pull. And Dusty all of a sudden pulled that car out of the ditch. And the man was very helpful. You know, thank you for doing that, but I don't understand. Why didn't you say pull, Dusty, pull right from the start? And the farmer goes, we get to remember that Dusty is old and blind. If he knew that he had to do it by himself, he wouldn't have even tried.
Sure.
But he needed that help. He thought there were other horses there. And because of that, that's why he pulled it out.
Wow.
And you see, we need others to help us when we are isolated like that. If we are all by ourselves, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Sometimes it will, okay? But you say, pull, Dusty, pull. There's other people behind pulling. Hey, I think I can do that. But you need that society to help you, the others around you. And that's what we have here at this church. There's people that if you feel isolated, we are going to help you as best as we can.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. You mentioned COVID and the isolation we all experienced during COVID, and that was the period that brought us here. That was for myself and my family. That is,
that is right, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So that COVID changed everything. But I would say, if I'm looking at the ultimate positive, is that COVID kind of saved us in a sense, because we didn't belong to a church. We didn't belong to a community. And we were very isolated. And when my son started at St. John's, the school at the time, it was amazing to see the families together, right? Does that make sense? The families coming together, and everybody knew everybody's name, and everybody talked to one another, and it was like, you need help? Okay, I'll help you out with this. You need food? I'll get you food. Yeah, whatever it was, right? Everybody, there's no better word than community. Yeah. That's what we have here. Yeah. And I think about that a lot, on how my life was before COVID and now. And I can say that it's a million times better. And I think, I know that it's because of the community here at St. John's. And I can't say that enough. So
good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, so what else do we have going on? What else do we have going on at the church this summer? Anything good? Anything you're looking forward to?
Well, we got Vacation Bible School coming up the last week in July.
Okay.
The other main thing is we had a preschool, and we still do for 3 and 4 year olds. We are now adding a kindergarten class.
Yep.
And that's very exciting. We're looking for a kindergarten teacher. If anyone out there knows of any kindergarten teachers, we're looking for someone. We got to hire someone.
All right. Okay? Today is what's today's date? Today is June 5th.
Yes.
So
we are looking, and if any 5-year-olds out there looking for kindergarten, we have a kindergarten here, and so that's very exciting. We also have Gracie. Gracie's not with us, our comfort dog, and she's at a Bible class for old people this morning.
Ah, okay. Is that here at the church?
No. It's some retirement home, and one of the other handlers have her. And
that's great.
And so she was helping the old people read the Bible. And
that's wonderful.
And
wow.
And so that's the old people. They just really perk up when they see the dog. Okay?
Yeah.
They start petting it, and they don't give a rip about you and I, but the dog. I mean. There's
Who
the dog.
does it? It's Gracie,
you
know?
Right,
exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
So, we also have a computer school coming up for just for the summer, and they'll be using our school. And I don't know that much about it, but it is from age 4 or 5 up to age 10 or 12, something like that.
There's a lot that's going on at the school this summer.
Yes,
so
there
it's
is.
Wonderful. Yeah. We've got our judo club still going. Going strong.
Yeah.
So
why don't you give yourself a plug for that?
We have a judo and communities program here at St. John's. So I've been doing judo for about 25 plus years, and got a good group of people downstairs in the basement. We have a small judo club running. So very technical classes. A lot of us are older, so we're not out there killing each other, but it's a good way to get some exercise, learn some fun technical activities.
Right. And you mentioned that you are a black belt, so you know what you're doing.
Yes, I am a black belt, yes.
You're not a beginner.
Not a beginner. Doing it for a long time. Actually, we have a few black belts that train at the club, so guys that have been with me forever. Yeah, there's 3 or 4 of us, at the club. So a lot of good instruction. We actually have a really good kids class too on Mondays and Thursdays at 6. Okay. So again, another activity for kids at the church. I can tell you that judo has helped me in an immense number of ways. Not just from the physical activity, but the settling of your mind. You can't really think about anything when you're grappling with somebody and they're trying to put you in an armbar. You gotta stay in the moment. But no, it's been a great experience here at the church, and I'm really happy that the church is letting us do this. So it's a great program. Again, Mondays and Thursdays, you can see the church website, or actually it's sequencejudo.com. But yeah, we've got a lot of good stuff going on.
Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
So summer should be jam-packed here at the church.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else we got to touch upon before?
No, it's just, we've said this at the other podcast. If you're looking for a church, we're trying to, we talked about you need that Christian fellowship. Mm-hmm. You can't do it by yourself, okay? Right. You feel isolated, okay? And just come in and give us a try, and give me a call. And here, I'll give you my cell number. It's 708-977-2521. Perfect. It's on 24/7 because I'm a pastor. You don't have any time off. But like that lady called, okay, she happened to call on the church line. I think I want to join your church. All right. Yeah. Well, why don't we meet sometime? Okay, we meet in my office, we meet at a coffee house. Let's talk about this, because we are trying to reach out to our community here. We have something really strong here, and we are very proud of it. And just come in and give us a look, and let's just talk.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the key takeaway is, if you're feeling overwhelmed, come by.
Yeah.
Come to the church, hang out with us. This is a place where you're going to leave feeling good. You're going to feel a lot better when you leave than when you came in. So,
yeah, good to know.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you very much, Pastor Mark.
Okay, Tim.
Again, this is the St. John's podcast with Pastor Mark Stapleton.
Right.
Again, really appreciate you doing these short podcasts. We're going to step it up over the summer, so we've been in a little bit of a hiatus. But
we'll do it in another 30 days or so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
This is the St. John's Podcast with Pastor Mark Stapleton.